Tari Eason was a 4-star recruit in high school when he committed to Cincinnati in late 2019. Despite the pedigree, Eason struggled to establish consistency at Cincinnati during his freshman season and entered the transfer portal after the 2021 season. Eason transferred to LSU and has carved out a crucial role as a top scorer for a Tigers team bound for the NCAA tournament. Eason has greatly improved from last season in terms of his offensive production, scoring more than twice as many points per game while playing just 5 more minutes per game. Not only that, he has improved his efficiency as a scorer and increased his production in nearly every other statistical category as well. This drastic improvement has taken Eason from possibly not being drafted this season to potentially being a top 10 pick. One strength for Tari Eason is scoring at the basket, especially when he can get to his right hand. Eason has a number of useful tools at his disposal when it comes to scoring around the basket. He's big, strong, athletic, has a good handle, and is comfortable playing through contact, and he can also put some nice touch on shots around the basket. Eason is a guy that can rely purely on athleticism and strength when it comes to getting downhill and scoring around the basket, but he can also use finesse and touch when needed. He's definitely stronger in this department getting to his right hand versus his left, but he can go left and finish when he has to. Eason has a funky looking jump shot that he kind of slingshots off his shoulder, so I'm not 100% sure the shot is for real. But his ability to score around the basket gives him a good offensive floor to work with once he gets into the NBA. Another strength for Eason is just how strong he is. Some players coming into the NBA need time to build up strength to handle the physicality of the NBA. Eason is not one of those guys. Eason uses his strength on the offensive end to play through contact and finish around the rim, or force defenses to foul him. And he uses his strength on both ends of the floor to pull down rebounds in crowds. He needs to work on his discipline as a defender, but with how strong and athletic he is, you could see him becoming a versatile defender. I'm not sure he's quite quick enough to go out and cover guards on the perimeter, but he should be able to handle both forwards from a strength perspective, and he could even play some small ball center. All that is to say, Eason is ready to handle NBA physicality. One last strength for Eason is his ability to handle the basketball. Eason is a 6'8" power forward that could easily make his money posting up and or spotting up off the ball. One thing that makes Eason special is that he can handle the ball at a high level for his size. It's hard enough to contain Eason as a defender just with his strength and touch around the basket. Compounding that, he can put the ball on the floor on the perimeter and blow by defenders for layups and dunks. He's too big for guards to contend with, but it can be tougher for big players to come out on the perimeter and try to stay in front of him. Eason has a long way to go as a playmaker, and he does have a tendency to over-dribble, but being able to handle the ball the way he does gives him some incredible upside as a scorer at the NBA level. One weakness for Eason is that he is foul prone. Eason has fouled out in 6 of his 31 games for LSU so far this season, including a game against Florida where he fouled out while playing just 7 minutes. The big reason Eason can struggle with fouls is because he seems fairly raw on the defensive end of the floor. He plays hard but lacks discipline at times. He has a tendency to get a little too handsy out on the perimeter and pick up cheap fouls on reach-ins. He also hasn't perfected going for a block without fouling yet. These are both fixable issues. Eason has a ton of upside as a defender with his physical tools. He'll just have to work on getting the foul trouble out of his game. Another weakness for Eason is he can struggle with turnovers. Eason is very good at handling the basketball at his size, but he definitely will get tunnel vision to score at times, and this can lead to turnovers. His biggest issue in this area is he will start dribbling too much without looking to pass, so defenses can send multiple bodies at him. While he is good at handling the ball, there's only so much you can do when you have multiple defenders trying to take it away from you. This leads to straight steals as well as bad passes from Eason. To stay on the floor at the NBA level, Eason will have to learn to take better care of the basketball. Again, I think this is a fixable issue. Eason just has to put the time and effort on his end to actually fix it. One last weakness for Eason is decision making. I've kind of alluded to this in discussing Eason's issues with fouls and turnovers. Eason just struggles with decisions on the basketball court at times. He doesn't read the floor at a very high level as a playmaker. This leads to him over-dribbling or forcing up shots rather than finding an open teammate. The situational awareness doesn't always seem to be there either. There are times where Eason makes a play and people watching just kind of scratch their heads and wonder what he was thinking. I think this comes back to Eason being pretty raw as a prospect. He clearly has a lot of talent, he just needs help honing and perfecting his skills. If he is able to improve as a decision maker, a lot of other things will start to fall into place. This first clip gives us a look at some of Eason's ability to get to the basket and score. The play starts with Eason getting the ball out on the wing. Eason sees he has a size advantage and immediately attacks the basket. He bullies his way to the basket and finishes through contact. Eason has both the strength and the touch to be able to make tough shots around the rim. This will be a valuable asset for him at the NBA level. This next clip displays Eason's ability to handle the basketball. The play starts with Eason handling the ball at the top of the arc. Eason dribble jabs and rapidly switches directions to create an angle to the basket. He then draws a foul at the rim. Eason's ability to handle the ball like this gives him a nice floor as an offensive player because he can get good looks at the rim or easy points at the line. This last clip shows how Eason can struggle with decision making. With LSU up 2 late in the game, Eason gets the ball with 12 seconds still on the shot clock. He quickly spins to his left and tries a tough scoop shot. After the miss with his team still up 2, he sets up on defense and then commits a silly foul to send Alabama to the line. They would end up tying the game and sending it to OT. This play just shows that at times Eason can struggle with situational awareness. He shouldn't have forced up the shot with that much time on the shot clock, and he definitely shouldn't have committed the foul. A play like this will drive NBA coaches crazy, and he'll have to work to get these types of plays out of his game. Tari Eason is one of the most interesting prospects in this draft class. Between his unique skill set, his meteoric rise up draft boards, and his approach to basketball that my producer Peter has described as effectively wild, he has at least earned the title of interesting. I think Tari Eason being drafted early to a likely not very good team can go one of 2 ways. He could get a chance to play a lot, make mistakes, and learn from his mistakes at the NBA level. This path could lead to Eason being a very good player down the road. The other path is he continues to make mistakes and they turn into bad habits. In this case, Eason would likely struggle to earn consistent playing time in the NBA, but with his talent level, I'm sure he would find a way to stick around. The feedback on Eason's work ethic seems to be that he is a relentless worker and is dedicated to getting better. With that in mind, I would like to believe that he is more likely to go down path number 1. My NBA comp for Tari Eason is Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga came into the NBA as a raw forward prospect with some tantalizing offensive versatility, as well as some good but undisciplined defensive energy. Both have a ton of upside but might take some patience to develop into their final form.